Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we have a breaking news story that has sent shockwaves through the international community. A US warship has been involved in a brutal collision with a China Coast Guard vessel near the West Philippine Sea. Stay tuned as we unravel the details behind this tense maritime encounter. As tensions escalate in the West Philippine Sea, a US warship and a China Coast Guard vessel find themselves in a perilous situation. The incident has raised eyebrows worldwide, sparking debates on the geopolitical stage. As we examine the unfolding events, it's crucial to understand the geopolitical context surrounding the West Philippine Sea. The region has been a hotspot for territorial disputes, with multiple nations vying for control. The collision between these two maritime giants adds fuel to the already simmering tensions. The Chinese military said that an American naval ship had illegally intruded on Monday into waters near the Second Thomas Shoal, the site of a hot territorial dispute between China and the Philippines in the South China Sea. A Chinese naval force was mobilized to track the U.S. Gabriel Giffords during the operation, according to a statement from the People's Liberation Army Southern Theater. The U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet said the ship was conducting routine operations in international waters consistent with international law. Chinese and Philippine naval and coast guard ships have confronted each other repeatedly around the shoal and the Spratly Islands in recent months, as China tries to prevent the Philippines from resupplying and repairing a rusting warship that it intentionally ran aground in 1999 to serve as a military outpost. Dwarfed by China's military might, the Philippines has sought America's help in its multiple territorial disputes with China in the South China Sea. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. agreed to an expansion of the U.S. military presence in the country early this year and launched joint sea and air patrols with the United States late last month. Chinese maritime forces damaged 3 Philippine vessels in 2 consecutive incidents in the South China Sea since Friday. On Friday, China Coast Guard cutters and maritime militia vessels disrupted the resupply of Filipino fishermen off Scarborough Shoal by civilian vessels under the Philippines Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. According to a press release from the National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea, the BFAR multi-mission offshore vessels BRP Datu Sanday, BRP Datu Bangko, and BRP Datu Tamblot were harassed by water cannons and long-range acoustic devices from Chinese forces. The Philippines claimed that water cannons were used at least 8 times during the incident and that the damage to BRP Datu Tamblot's navigational and communications equipment was a result of the China Coast Guard's intended targeting, stating that the vessel was directly and deliberately targeted by the China Coast Guard. Philippine sailors also experienced severe temporary discomfort and incapacitation from the China Maritime Militia's use of long-range acoustic devices. Chinese vessels further impeded BFAR's mission by deploying rigid-hull inflatable boats to chase off Filipino fishermen attempting to receive supplies. According to Philippine fishermen, Chinese forces sent another barrier at the southeast entrance to Scarborough Shoal. In September, Beijing placed a barrier that was promptly removed by Manila. China has maintained an almost constant presence at the feature since a 2012 incident and has prevented fishermen from directly accessing the shoal. A resupply mission to the detachment of Philippine Marines and sailors on board BRP Sierra Madre at Second Thomas Shoal would meet similar harassment from Chinese forces today. The Philippines has been contending with Chinese vessels attempting to blockade the Second Thomas Shoal twice a month since August. Incidents since then have seen increasing assertiveness and scale from Beijing, which claims the South China Sea feature under its 9-line territorial claim. A statement from the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet, based in Japan, said its operations in the South China Sea demonstrate a commitment to upholding a free and open Indo-Pacific region where all nations, large and small, are secure in their sovereignty, can resolve disputes without coercion, and have the freedom to navigate and fly consistent with international laws, rules, and norms. The Philippine Coast Guard said Sunday that it had sent 2 ships to Whitsun Reef, another disputed territory in the Spratly Islands, to challenge and document what it estimated to be more than 135 Chinese vessels massing in the area. The Philippines called them maritime militia and said their presence is illegal. The vessels did not respond to radio challenges, the Coast Guard said. China, as in similar incidents in the past, said the reef belongs to China and that the nearby waters are an important operating area and shelter for Chinese fishing boats. It is reasonable and lawful for Chinese fishing boats to operate and take shelter in the waters, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said. The Philippine side should not make irresponsible remarks about that. To comprehend the gravity of the situation, let's delve into the historical background and territorial claims in the West Philippine Sea. The area is known for its strategic importance, rich resources, and overlapping sovereignty claims. The collision becomes a flashpoint in an already complex geopolitical landscape. As the US warship and China Coast Guard vessel come dangerously close, tensions reach a boiling point. The collision is captured on camera, showcasing the intense nature of the encounter. Questions arise about communication breakdowns, navigational errors, and the intent behind such aggressive maneuvers. As we conclude this report, the aftermath of the US warship's clash with the China Coast Guard leaves us pondering the future of maritime security and global stability. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this developing story. Thank you for joining us today, and until next time, stay informed.